One of the reasons for us moving here was our love of the outdoors, wanting to connect more with nature, and one of the ways you can do that the most, especially I think with children, is growing vegetables.
That's right, and just having that outdoor space, which
Having
is,
that outdoor space.
big-ish, and have that access to it. And the garden that this house came with is, good size. It's got some mature trees, a lot of bushes, and
A lot of established planting, that's
lot
for
of
sure.
established,
And
yeah.
obviously the house is a couple of 100 years old, or probably more. So these trees are amazing, really, but
but we were missing something.
we were missing something.
That was a big deal for us because we were missing a veg garden. And there is, like we said, lots of mature trees, and some part of it is an old orchard. So lots of beautiful apple trees, which, like, I personally didn't want to cut down. If we don't have to, because just of their beauty. Obviously, you can't harvest the apples as much because they're quite high, but they're just beautiful. But the veg garden was missing, and because so much of it is mature trees, it was quite difficult for us to work out where that veg garden is going to be.
There's like three parts of the garden. There's quite a formal lawn in front of the house, which the kids love to play and the dogs love to run around
And we
in.
don't want to.
And we
put a
don't
veg
really
garden
want to put a
there.
veg garden there. Then there's the sort of bottom part, which is quite shady and
Lots of
woodlandy.
trees, yeah.
And then there's one other area where the orchard was, and that was probably the best place
Where the
we
orchard
thought.
still is.
Where the orchard still is, yeah, is the best place we thought would be for a veg garden.
On one side of it, there is an old oak tree, which obviously is large, but we're now, late spring, and it still hasn't got leaves on yet. So it's quite a late one. And on the other side of that space is an old cherry tree, which is really tall, but it's more on the north side, so it doesn't cast a shadow on the veg garden. So we just done the best we could, and we found that spot that's going to be good. It's going to have to be good. I personally want a veg garden, and I think why it's good for our family as well, and whatever I think is good for our family we're doing, is because, like, when I was younger, I thought I will never have any interest in gardening. Like, this is, for when I'm maybe 60. But as I had children, and we slowly moved from a house to a house that had slightly larger garden, I started gardening just naturally, in pots or sowing some radishes with kids, and realized very naturally how much it improves my well-being, how much it makes me want to live, how much alive I feel. So a veg garden, I realized, is really important to me personally, and also I see for our kids, because they get to participate in all of that whole process of growing veg. They get to see where they come from, and they want to eat them when they've grown them, which, is quite an achievement.
But also, we wanted a greenhouse.
Yes, very much, because in the last house where we lived, we had a small greenhouse, and suddenly it just unlocked something within me, and I realized how much you can grow in it and how exciting it is to have
and
that
it's also
different-
quite a centrepiece, isn't it, of a garden, I think.
Yes, because it's important, I think, to have features in the garden that are also beautiful. So not just...
Yeah, it's not just a space for growing veg, it's going to be a place where you spend some time together as a family.
Yes, and I want us to want to go there and see its beauty rather than have a veg plot that's hidden away, somewhere behind a wall. I want us to look after it and see it as like almost a piece of art in the garden, right? So no pressure at all. So this is the area that we chose for our vegetable garden and the greenhouse, also known as potager. It was fairly even, but we still had to do a few things. Like, what did we do?
5 or 6 old tree stumps we've had removed.
Yes, I didn't know you could remove a tree stump, so that was
A big piece of machinery.
that was a big
Whizzed
news.
out the base, and some we dug out,
Yeah, and that was, that unlocked quite a lot of that space, because otherwise, obviously, you have to work around those stumps. So that was really worth doing.
We applied for permission to build the greenhouse, which was all approved.
But also, I didn't know that beforehand, that you have to apply for a permission. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's for every greenhouse.
No, it's because we're in a conservation area and it's a listed building, so it's a little bit more difficult. But we
So how
went
many
through the
weeks
right
was
channels.
that?
It took about 6 to 8 weeks to get the permissions through.
And we had to get like a flood assessment.
Flood assessment because we're in a flooding area.
Yeah.
But all that was done and passed. And we found a local contractor who's built us our concrete base. And now we've had a dwarf wall for the greenhouse built out of bricks.
So the concrete base it was our preference really. It wasn't necessary for this greenhouse because I prefer to have vegetables in containers. It's easier to replace the soil and things like that.
We've already got some people digging. Wait, come out.
I've seen actually someone on the internet training a dachshund to dig holes for plugs. So I think if we put a little bit more work into these apprentices.
The floors will get very gassy. But
Yes.
Can they reach lava?
Yeah, no, I don't think they'll reach lava. So this is where the greenhouse is going to be. Actually, it already is. There's no change in that. It's definitely going to be here. Going to have a little path here. That's the diggers. And there's going to be a vegetable bed here, maybe, sort of. For me, it's all very rough, you know. Yes, we're presenting. And that could be for, I don't know, strawberries maybe. It's very shady here right now because it's late afternoon. Maybe we're going to put a cold frame here, but I'm not so sure about it yet, here or on the other side. And here, this little fancy hole, as you can see, is my big dream come true because we're going to grow a vine outside because vines like their roots in cool, I think. And it's easier for watering, but then you can train the main stem through the little opening and it can have its fruit inside. And I'm very excited about it. Are you excited, Zosja? On grapes, can you believe it?
Oh, on grapes.
Yeah, Babcia, my mom used to always have grapes when I was a kid, so I kind of want to do the same. So like I mentioned, I like that symmetrical look, so that's why we're going to have 4 beds here, quite large, with like a center area for a bird bath maybe. I don't know yet. After these 4 beds, we'll have a path and another larger bed for I don't know what yet. Obviously rotation, so it's going to be something different every year. But that's it. I'm very excited. I'm very excited, yes. So I have a very precise vision of how this veg garden is going to feel, you know, how it's going to be like when it's all full of vegetables and different plants, and I'm going to come here every morning. I just know exactly how it's going to feel, but I obviously don't have an idea.
How to do it.
How to do it.
That's down to me.
I know how to put plants in soil, but know how to build
So we make a
beds.
good team together.
Yeah, we make a good team. The important things to say is that like Jim is not a professional carpenter, but he enjoys it and he is really good at working things out. So I have all the confidence because I've seen you do things.
Yeah,
like
we've been doing things for a long time, haven't we? So
that.
yeah, we're going to build this paths and gardens and
Still we.
stuff, and then
Yeah, it's
we'll
gonna
be ready for a part 2 video in a month or so.
Yeah, great. I'm very ready for it.